All right, who's ready to change Washington, D.C.? I tell you, it has been an incredible journey across this state. It's so great to be back down here. You know, when we first started this 7 months ago, they told me, they said, well, that's impossible. And then we kept fighting. A few months later, they said, well, it's not impossible, it's just improbable. And we kept fighting. You know what they're saying now? It's unstoppable. Patriots all across this country are waking up to a new reality. Mississippi is rising, leading the charge for the conservative movement. For everyone across the nation watching, wanting to see change in Washington, D.C., wanting to understand why it is those men and women have not been listening to us. We are going to make them listen to us once again. We're going to make them. Now here's the thing. The entire country is watching for a very important reason. It's not because of me. It's not even necessarily because of Thad Cochran. They see in you so much potential. And the reason they see potential in you is because you are who the founders were. You are people of freedom and liberty. You're a people who value the Constitution. You're a people who value your God and its proper religious foundations that this country was built upon. These are the people that bring change when change is needed. And it happens so often in this country. Whether it's the founders, whether it's the greatest generation, whatever the case may be, at some point your name is called. At some point it's your turn to take control. Now is that time. Now is the time. Now, Senator Cochran has been there for 41 years. And the one thing that has remained consistent for 41 years is Mississippi's position. Things have to change across the board. For 41 years, he has not been a conservative voice for you. For 41 years, he has demonstrated time and time again that his convictions do not share your convictions. Ladies and gentlemen, the worst president that this country has ever had is named Barack Obama. He has shined the Constitution, he has exceeded his executive boundaries. But name one fight that Senator Thad Cochran has led against Barack Obama. That is truly unfortunate. And it does beg the question, what good is seniority if you're not going to be a man of your conviction? What good is seniority if you're not going to fight for a change? But it's not just acts of omission, it's acts of commission as well. If you study his records, you'll understand why it is that the American Conservative Union gave him a D- during the Obama presidency. He voted to fund Obamacare, not once, but twice. Ladies and gentlemen, next time Ted Cruz stands on that floor, next time Mike Lee stands on that floor, next time Rand Paul stands on that floor to fight for you, a son of Mississippi will stand next to them. Silence in this context is complicity, and it's wrong. But he didn't simply vote to fund Obamacare. He's voted for taxpayer-funded abortions. He's voted to increase the debt ceiling multiple times in just the last 11 years to the tune of more than $8 trillion. Senator Cochran voted here recently to confirm Chuck Hagel as Secretary of State. Now this is of particular interest. This is of particular interest to the people on the coast. I am not going to balance the budget on the backs of the military. Senator Cochran apparently believes that's okay to do. I want to be very clear about this. Chuck Hagel is wrong for this country. He's wrong for that position. And the Republicans could have stopped his nomination. The first Republican to cross over to support Chuck Hagel was none other than Thad Cochran from Mississippi. It is incomprehensible. It is incomprehensible. But elections have consequences. So Thad Cochran not only votes to confirm Chuck Hagel, but he endorses Chuck Hagel. 3 other Republicans join Thad Cochran in doing so. He's your Secretary of Defense. He's the reason they're pushing for military cuts. Hence, Senator Cochran has been part of the problem, not part of the solution. Here lately, we've seen an incredible amount of scare tactics poised or aimed against me. You do understand that since Senator Cochran became a U.S. Senator, Ingalls has lost 14,000 jobs. He hasn't fought for Ingalls. I'm going to fight for Ingalls. I'm going to fight for the military. We're going to make sure it's safe. And do you know why? My grandfather worked at Ingalls. We have a shipbuilding legacy in my family. I know what it means to the coast. I know what it means to my area. And by George, we're going to make it work right again. And his votes, they run across the board. Why is it conservatives? Help me for a second. Are we a party of bailouts?
No!
Then why did he vote to bail out Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? Why did he vote for the Cash for Clunkers program? Come on, Republicans. Are we a party of the United Nations?
No!
Then why did he vote to increase the U.S. share of UN peacekeeping costs? Come on, Republicans. Are we a party of illegal immigration?
No!
Then why did he vote for amnesty? Why did he vote twice against a border fence? Something is wrong with our leadership in Washington. They haven't been listening to the people of Mississippi. It's time for a change. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason that Senator Cochran hasn't come down here to debate me. You understand that, don't you?
Yes!
We have asked him dozens of times to come stand by me. In fact, he should be standing right here, right now, talking to you.
Yeah.
He works for us. He owes it to you to answer your questions. Why not hold town halls? Why not speak to the press? Why not be accessible to the people who he owes his job to? I'm in front of you. I've been in front of you. We've taken a message of conservatism to the people of Mississippi, and here it is put simply. Number one, and I want to be very, very clear about this, I'm not going up there to put a Band-Aid on Obamacare.
Yeah.
We're going to pull the plug on Obamacare. Every line, every period, every clause has to go. It's going to destroy our economy and our healthcare system, and it's time Americans said so. And I don't care what Justice Roberts said in his opinion. That individual mandate is absolutely unconstitutional.
Yes!
Number two, an idea whose time has come because career politicians are bankrupting your country. Career politicians are damaging this country. It is time for term limits one way or the other. Number three, with a country like ours that's $17.5 trillion in debt, with $200 trillion in unfunded liabilities, a country like ours that borrows 46 cents out of every dollar it spends, folks, at some point the adults have to enter the room. We have to begin to make sound fiscal decisions. We are not going to keep putting that debt on my son's back. I can't sleep on that. I can't. And the idea that there are Republicans in this state, the idea that in that context, as bankrupt as we are, as fiscally damaging as this trajectory has been, the idea that Republicans in the most conservative state in the Republic would beg for federal money in light of how dangerous it has been. The idea that they would say, send Thad Cochran back to Washington so he can keep spending as recklessly as he has. If that is the position of the most conservative party in the entire country, then we are doomed. Ladies and gentlemen, look at me for a second. There is no greater crisis than the fiscal crisis. You understand we don't have much time. From the Congressional Budget Office to other independent agencies, It's a mathematical certainty. The numbers don't lie. We've got to turn this around. We can do it responsibly, and here's how. Here's how. The federal government has to begin doing things that it's charged to do. Military spending is a legitimate function of government.
Yeah.
We should take care of the military. We should give them what they need to win their engagements. And when they come home, give them everything we've promised them and more.
Yeah.
Now, that's a legitimate function of government. Commerce and roads and bridges, those are legitimate functions of government. Do you know what's not a legitimate function of government? Free cell phones.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the idea. If we will stop doing the things that are illegitimate, like free cell phones, and do the things right, like military spending and commerce and transportation, you'll see prosperity and you'll see more liberty. So, here's what we're going to do. Don't trust politicians to tell you they're going to balance the budget. We've heard that song and dance before. Jefferson would say, bind them down from mischief with the chains of the Constitution. It is time for a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution.
Yes.
Number four, your tax code is punitive. Your tax code is dangerous. It's 3.8 million words long. No one understands it. 60,000 pages long. No one gets it. Here's the idea. It's time to scrap the existing tax code, come back with something fair or flat, and let's make sure Americans can be productive again.
Yes.
For too long, the people of this country have suffered from an opportunity crisis. That's particularly here in Mississippi. We need jobs. We need economic development. We need opportunity so my sons can stay with me and not go to other states when he gets old. Now here's the thing. You don't get that through government subsidies. You get it by creating an environment for growth. You make it comfortable for folks to invest. You make it comfortable for companies to come here. You create the proper environment and they will come. Mississippi needs that chance, and we can do it with the right tax reform. Let's eliminate the inventory tax. Let's eliminate the franchise tax. Let's make it hospitable to individuals and to corporations, and let's bring jobs to this state once and for all.
Yes.
We've tried it the Washington way for 41 years, and we're still dead last. In education, we've tried it the Washington way 41 years, and we're still dead last. Reform matters. Likewise, we're going to get rid of the death tax once and for all.
Yes.
One more thing, and I'm going to wrap this thing up. You hear my voice is cracking. One more thing.
We love you, Chris.
Hey, I love y'all, man. Thank you. Thank you. As you can see, I'm passionate today. Yeah. I didn't wear my suit.
Yeah.
Somebody, I walked up outside and they were like, "You're not Chris McDaniel." I said, "Look at my head on the side of the bus, for goodness sakes." Now here's the thing, lastly. The American people and the people of Mississippi, we are tired of corporate cronyism. We're tired of favoritism. We're tired of the good old boy network. We're tired of the backroom deals. We're tired of it. We're going to bring transparency to government, but not just government, to our party. To our party. Let's begin to ask the tough questions, such as, why is a 42-year incumbent pandering to liberal Democrats to get reelected?
Right.
But better yet, going back to the income tax scheme, we're going to eliminate bailouts once and for all. If a corporation can't make it on its own, let it fail.
Yeah.
Number two, no more carve-outs. But lastly, and more importantly, I'm tired of the politicians getting all the best perks. I'm tired of the exemptions. I'm tired of the exceptions. I'm tired of the special retirement they get. Listen, they work for us, not the other way around. When was the last time your employee had better perks than your employer?
Yeah.
We're